Hello adventurers, my name is Diogo Guerra and this is Off-Road Of Course. The 2022 edition of the legendary Dakar Rally is upon us. It began today. And what makes it especially exciting this year is that for the first time ever I am going to have an infiltrated man there. Our own very personal spy, specifically instructed to report on the most bizarre and interesting backstage stories he can find. And of course I'm talking about my friend John, the one that you might have met on some of my previous adventure videos. John is there in Saudi Arabia working as one of the mechanics in Team Bianchi Prata, which this year took 3 Portuguese riders. Pedro Bianchi Prata and Arcélio Couto on Honda's CRF 450 and Paulo Oliveira on a KTM 450. And thanks to him we are going to have access to the most unique videos and stories of what's happening behind the scenes of this mythical event. So you can see it's all true. Who has a John does have everything. And well, although the rally has just begun, John already shared a few stories with me, mostly about the challenges during the preparation of the bikes and the mishaps during the first few days in Saudi Arabia. And what I'm loving about them is their genuine human dimension.
There are 3,700 people here in the paddock and only one bathroom.
I like this kind of thing because I always get the feeling that on TV they only ever show us the winners, the big teams, the most famous racers and the flashiest parts of the show. But I would argue that what really makes the common man dream about the Dakar and the things he can relate to is everything else. It's the ingenuity necessary to race the Dakar on a budget and the struggle to get sponsors. It's the uncertainty, the risks, and the last-minute problems and the last-second solutions. The make-dos, the sacrifices, the compromises and the passion of those who participate to live the adventure, not necessarily to win the race. If John doesn't fail me, this is exactly the kind of thing that I am going to try to capture on my next 2 videos. So, if you enjoy the Dakar and you want a fresh perspective on this, please don't forget to like, to subscribe and to hit the thingy, because I have the feeling that the next 2 weeks are going to be very interesting. If not, we can always blame John, so it's all good. Still in this topic, I think it would be very interesting to interview him once he comes back. And it would be even better if all the questions and the discussion topics were proposed by you, my dear adventurers. So consider yourselves invited to go down to the comment section and do your worst. And throughout these 15 days I'm going to select the most interesting, the most voted and the most funny questions for a future Q&A session. Before I wrap up this video, and considering today was the first day of the 2022 Dakar Rally, I want to make sure that we are all on the same page when it comes to understanding it. So I want to suggest a very interesting video that I found on the Dakar's official website. You can find the video on this link right here or down in the description. It's an awesome animated video that begins in 1977 with the story of Thierry Sabine, the Dakar's creator, and then goes through all sorts of cool information like the classes of vehicles allowed in the race, the requirements to participate, the necessary logistics behind each edition, explains what exactly is a bivouac and what happens during each stage, and it shows the sort of safety equipment each vehicle must have, and it even explains the basics of how to read a road book. I found it brilliantly complete, entertaining and informative, even though I've been watching this race for as long as I can remember, so make sure you give it a go. Well, and now I'm done. If you found this video useful, as usual don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit the thingy and to share. Share this video with one of those friends who every year watches Dakar on the Eurosport channel and maybe you won't have to cry through 45 minutes of ski jumping, darts or pool before getting some daily news about the race. See you next week and happy rides!